gals, and this is it. As promised from last week, this weekend I will finally finish up the Exorcist franchise, and this is with Exorcist the Beginning. Even though I should review this part of the prequel first and the Dominion after, I decided to go with Dominion first just to get that one part out the way, because when I went to the theatrical version, I saw the Exorcist the Beginning first because that was the first part of it that was released, and then the movie was released 1 year after because of a strong fan base, because they want to see the other version how it was originally intended to be. Now, if you saw my Dominion review, I really highly went with the theatrical version because I really did enjoy the twist of who was really possessed in this movie. But even though I enjoyed both versions anyway, and when I look back on it, actually I think Dominion was the much better version after all. Because the story was depth, it was more. If it was more one way, because it's like you already know who's possessed, it's predictable. Plus, it tells better of a backstory than Exorcist the Beginning, because if you saw the first Exorcist movie, you saw the white face, and you can see where the white face demon comes from in Dominion more than you see in the beginning. I'm gonna drop this DVD because this is where I got it from. I got the DVD version of the Anthology series, not the Blu-ray one. You pretty much get the same special features, but if you want to save a lot of money, get the DVD Anthology version. Anyway, let's get to the point. Exorcist the Beginning, totally different theatrical cut, so different than the director's cut version of Dominion. Totally two different movies. You might see one or two scenes that's the same, but besides that, totally different. Because in Dominion, when you look at it, it's really, to me, I feel like he fought Satan in the movie, and in Exorcist the Beginning, he actually fought Pazuzu. So that's why I would say maybe you might want to go with the beginning version if you're a Pazuzu guy over the Satan version. That's what I would say. But besides that, you got Father Merrin, young priest, same concept. He's hired by this guy to do this dig, and they want some kind of unique finding, like there's something down there pretty much in this church. And Father Merrin went to Africa, Cairo, Egypt, yeah, if I'm corrected, yeah. And then Father Merrin with another priest goes up to the dig site, see the church, and they'll be like wondering see these crosses in this village, and like a story like 50 years ago there was a plague and everyone in the village dies. You know what I'm saying? Oh, also let me mention there's also a little prelogue backstory too in the beginning when you have like these crusaders, I think I'm corrected, and they all fought and they killed each other in the war. You have one priest that survived the war, and of course it's pretty obvious that him built the church underneath the burial. Anyway, to fast forward everything, Father Merrin met this nurse, and she has her own backstory, and the nurse in the beginning is totally different than the one for Dominion, because she's blonde. She has a history also in World War II, similar to I would say probably the history with the nurse in Dominion. Like she was, she was involved with the Nazis, disrespected her pretty much, like concentration camp type attitude, I would say. Meanwhile, you got the son of one of I think the mayor of the village, the black guy in Africa, like the village where Father Merrin was staying at. There's an encounter with him and his brother, and that's when you start thinking if the boy was really possessed, like he's probably possessed by the demon, because he let his older brother die, right? The hyenas tear him apart, and the younger brother starts fainting, and then they'll start taking care of the young boy. And as the movie progressed, weird stuff start happening around the area. People start acting strange. They're not acting normal as you think they would be. Father Merrin dug deeper into the church, found an underground cave like underneath the church. Underneath the church. Can you imagine? And as the story goes on, Father Merrin starts finding the truth about how the Vatican is covering up something, and the Vatican, they told the whole story as the younger priest knew what's really going on, And I don't want to ruin that moment, because I thought there was a moment right there about what the Vatican was really covering up. And I'm trying not to spoil too much, but to me, the Exorcist the Beginning, the best way to describe it is like It was a little bit more fast paced. You get a little bit more action packed moment, I would say. Like for a horror element, like in the demonic genre movie, you get a little bit more action packed moment. Like you see hyenas biting, you see a lot of deaths, blood and gore. You see, like when the villagers had to fight the African, like this British army, pretty much, as because the British army shot one of the guys, and they all riot. They go on like a little riot with the war, and they want to kill the young boy because they believe he's the one that's bringing the evil. But there's a twist added too, by the way, who's really bringing the evil. Let's put it like that. All in all, no, I don't want to spoil. Not too much spoil. I don't want to spoil anything, but actually, the beginning, I really did enjoy this movie. Like I said, I did enjoy both versions, but after seeing the beginning again, I'm going with Dominion much more because of the story. It was more depth, and I felt like it made much more of a better sense, in my opinion. That's what I feel like. Even though the Exorcist, the beginning has its own, it makes sense in its own way too. But whatever you prefer, you see a different flashback origin, similar to both versions, World War II, but it's the way but the situation was different. How Father Merrin's flashback in the Nazi, like when he was facing the Nazi, it was two different situations. So you definitely need to see both versions without a doubt. But like I said, it's hard to say it, but it's like it depends on you, whatever you prefer. At the time I prefer the theatrical cut, but now I realize I prefer more of the Dominion version. So that's just my opinion. But hey, it's kind of cool. Anyway, peace, guys. See you later.